Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our wrestling podcast, Getting Over. We're talking about the Wrestlemania and what happened in all the matches at Wrestlemania. Stu is previewing the upcoming British shows that he's going to and Matt's going to. And yeah, just a big old load of wrestling goodness. So yeah, check this one out. This is Cookiecast Presents Getting Over. Right, we are live. Please don't say fuck, shit, or bugger.
Just before we go any further, Matt, say something.
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Beautiful.
Looks pretty good to me.
Beautiful.
Spoiler alert, Matt is on the phone.
No, we might have just like recorded that from the last time. He was on the phone.
Something that I enjoyed from yesterday's football podcast was the fact that we've been taking in turns to do the intro. So I delivered a beautiful... Felt like that intro needed a smoking jacket.
Oh dear.
It was...
Oh my.
So, who's going to do the intro?
Okay, well, fingers are pointing to me. So, welcome along, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 3?
Numbered 3.
Number 3. Welcome to number 3 of...
but is actually episode 4.
of Cookiecast Presents Getting Over.
Getting Over.
But yeah. Woo. We've got Mr. Andy Cook, Mr. Paul Williams.
I'm starting to go with the title Overseer.
Overseer.
I'm trying this. This week I'm trying this. Next week something else.
Interesting.
It'll be when you have to start laying the law down about something. I went really hold on. I have to start laying the law down about something, and then you go from overseer to just overlord. Overlord of the podcast.
One step away.
So yeah,
my.
Mr. Paul Williams.
Hello.
On the phone we have Mr. Matthew Moore.
Evening.
And myself, Stuart Woodmansey. Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello.
So, what are we going to talk about tonight, gents?
Well,
to go in line with our other podcast, as this is a wrestling podcast, we should probably talk about football.
Yeah, that is a good shout.
well, just on that subject, as you join us, we are currently recording at the same time as the quarter-final second leg of the Champions League, where it's Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur, and it's currently 0-0 after 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Live updates of the football throughout the wrestling.
Yes.
Cool. So Wrestlemania 35 we've been. That is the road that has now been travelled.
It's in the rear-view mirror.
I like that. I wonder if they shall use that on the next episode of the.
I'm almost certain I've taken that from the WWE.
It's like Michael Cole turned ginger and turned up in York. Anyway, moving on.
Wow.
So we had some predictions from last time.
We did indeed.
For the marathon edition of WrestleMania.
What did it clock out in the end?
They didn't even go to time technically.
Yeah.
Because they'd scheduled to finish at 5:30 in the morning UK time.
Mm-hmm.
Finished at about 5:20.
Yeah.
Robbing bastards.
Because the 7 hours and 20 minutes of wrestling before that just hadn't been long enough.
Just unreal. I feel absolutely robbed.
Well, so apparently did Ronda Rousey after the finish of the match, but we should maybe get to that. We had some guest predictions last time from podcast listener, Mr. Gareth Appleton, and I believe there was a point in the last podcast where I said, wouldn't it be embarrassing if one of the listeners scored higher than we did on the predictions? But has that happened? Has that happened? We shall find out.
What has happened
Do we want...
is that Raheem Sterling has just scored
to
put Man City 1-0 up and level the tie on aggregate.
I thought you were just really excited at the fact that
Great finish.
Gaz might have beaten us at the scores.
Fantastic finish.
Well, do we want to go through the matches and the results? Do we want to talk about a few of the matches? We had the...
Do we need to start at TakeOver?
We can start a TakeOver, yeah, because we did talk about TakeOver last time as well. So we'll go from the Friday night then, yeah, from NXT TakeOver New York.
Not TakeOver Brooklyn.
Not TakeOver Brooklyn. I've worked out, last time I was like, why have they called it something different? I've realised in the time that has passed since, TakeOver Brooklyn happened before SummerSlam. So to differentiate it, because it's before Wrestlemania, that's why.
Ah.
So that has answered that question. For anybody that's been bugging for the last 4 weeks or so. We had 5 matches on the card. The NXT Championship 2 out of 3 falls match, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole. We had the NXT Women's Title 4-way match, Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai and Bianca Belair. The NXT North American title, the Velveteen Dream versus Matt Riddle. The NXT Tag Titles, the War Raiders versus Ricochet and Black. And then the UK title was on the line when Pete Dunne was defending against everybody's favourite massive Austrian, Volta. With the predictions, out of a possible 5, the highest scorers had 3. And on this occasion, it was neither myself or Paul.
Fuck,
it was
bullshit.
Both Andy
Yay!
and Matt got 3. They were the same 3 matches, so everybody got 2 matches completely wrong. So yeah, everybody had picked Volta. Everybody had picked the War Raiders, but weirdly now I feel like I
don't know who that team is.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they are. Everybody had picked Matt Riddle.
Oh dear.
He didn't win. There was a bit of imbalance in the women's match. Andy and Paul went Bianca Belair. Me and Matt went Io Shirai. And Shayna Baszler retained. Which was probably the most unexpected result of the night, I'd say. And to give it its credit, that match was way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be all right, but it was a good match. And then the main event, the 2 out of 3 falls match, everybody said it would be 2-1, which it was, but not everybody said that Johnny Gargano would win. I picked Adam Cole. Paul picked Adam Cole. Matt and Andy, congratulations.
Oh! Sorry.
We also said 2 other things about that match. That it would go over 40 minutes, which it definitely did.
It did.
And that it would probably be the best match of the weekend. Which, for me, it was either that or the tag match which opened the show.
Oh,
because
both were incredible.
That tag match was unreal.
And I think they both clocked in at about the same amount of time, didn't they? They were both about 40 minutes long.
I think the tag match was probably shorter, but that was more to do with the logistics of the 3 falls thing. So, yeah, the Pete Dunne finally dropping the title after 685 days. So now Volta becomes the 3rd ever UK champion. And the first ever non-Brit, I guess, to win the title as well.
Yeah.
That was, for me, a very good match. I think we've all seen that match, I think, and I was a bit nervous about it at first because I thought after me and Matt were waxing lyrical a little about it last time that Volta needed to show his potential. I was a bit worried at first. After the first 5 minutes of it, I thought, oh god, this is a bit slow. And actually, they told a great story. They really built that match. That match for me was probably one of the best storytelling matches of the weekend, I'd say.
It was. It seemed a bit weird because it almost seemed like it was like the forgotten match of the card.
Yeah.
For me, it just even though it was a very good match, it just seemed like it was a bit flat.
It was.
You wonder whether it's kind of as we touched upon like last time when we kind of said. Do the American audience care enough about the 2 people in the match and the fact that Pete Dunne's held this title for nearly 2 years? And I think that there was an element of that. And when you go to an NXT show, you're expecting like a match like the first match, like the high flying and all that kind of thing. And when it's not that, not much of that, it kind of thing, you could feel it. I think I'd said to Stu on the Sunday after that I thought the match was probably 5, maybe 10 minutes too long. It was a bit of a slow start. I don't know. It just seemed to kind of with the pace of the previous match or previous matches. It just needed to perhaps be that little bit quicker, which obviously Volta can do. That would be only my kind of problem with it. The ending of it, as it picked up speed and Dunn fought back, and there was a bit more to and fro to the match. The crowd got into it more, but I think just maybe 5 minutes too long for me.
I think just the finish as well, seeing the big man go up to the top rope was not something I expected them to do.
No.
So
seriously, this guy he's a big boy, and I mean, not to say that he's like overweight, but he's got a bit of a gut to him, hasn't he?
He's a big lad.
And yeah, he literally sort of like flew across pretty much half the ring and dropped a big splash on Pete Dunne. It looked impressive.
Less of a frog splash, more dropping a small car. Basically, is what Paul's getting at. He's a big guy.
It was.
Oh my god! Sorry, Matt. Just to interrupt. This game is insane. It's 10 minutes in and it's already 2-2.
Well, I'm playing with no keepers.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, sorry, Matt. Carry on.
I was done.
Okay. Well, we'll move on from the UK one then. So, generally, we said that the tag match, which ended up opening the show, was just non-stop from start to finish, just all out action. The intros were great, right from the Viking entrance. That, in fact, you could even say there was a bit of a Viking experience at the beginning of NXT.
He's got it in already. That's what she said. I don't know.
But yeah, again, that match was, I expected it to be a good match, but that exceeded expectations. I thought that would be a nice one to get the crowd going, but Jesus Christ, did not expect it to probably, like I say, tie for me for the best match on the night.
It's that thing in it where like you never expect it to be. You don't. I can't think of the way to word it. You don't expect it to deliver as high as it does, and you're always surprised that it delivers as high as it does. Like it's amazing how consistently excellent the NXT takeovers are. I've yet to see a bad one personally.
Like consistently overachieving.
Yeah, it's insane. Like they're always like on point. The matches are always interesting. It's clearly just a very, very well put together show every time.
What did everyone think to the Velveteen Dream Matt Riddle match?
I enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Personally.
Took me by surprise because I didn't expect Velveteen Dream to retain. I thought that was going to be Matt Riddle's all day long.
But as that match went further on, it became very obvious that was going to be the outcome of the match because of the amount of offense that they gave Matt Riddle. To me, anyway. Have you seen any of Matt Riddle's stuff yet?
Mr. Flip Flop.
Yes. Yes, after we did the Wrestlemania podcast, I went and watched like a load of stuff back to back. Might have even been while I was transferring the stuff over. I was like, I need to see what's happening here. Yeah.
Which, I'm trying to think now, was he the suplex from the middle rope, or was that the Cole Gargano match?
No, I think that was him. No, it might have been Volta.
Yeah.
It wasn't Volta. When he was stood on the rope, somebody was stood on the rope and they suplexed him into the ring.
That was that was probably.
That looked like he killed Velvet. It looked like Matt Riddle had killed Velvet.
Yeah,
he landed like proper
high. He actually died on television.
He landed proper high and tight on his shoulder, neck, didn't he? It looked bad. That was one of maybe 3 or 4 times where I was watching that takeover, just thinking, "Oh,
yeah,
no, someone's going to get really hurt someday doing that." Like just during one of those matches. But that's the nature of the beast, I think.
The the women's match, like I say, was better than I thought as well. I don't know why that. Like, I don't mean that to come out in a negative way towards the women. It just generally, it was probably the one that I was least looking forward to. But
the story wasn't very interesting, and it was kind of like chuck as many people into the match as you possibly can, and Bianca Belair is really annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, no, go away, you're annoying me now. Your est thing is really, really throw shoes at the telly kind of thing. It's just like, no, get off.
For me, it's not even that. It's the undefeated thing, because she isn't. She's been defeated.
It's the mindset.
Yes, Paul, it's the mindset.
Jesus,
and still, my mindset is
Jesus titty fucking
shoes at you.
Jesus titty fucking Christ.
See, there's a lot of people who will be saying about take your shoes off if you're at Gibson, which is Zach Gibson, but Matt's obviously jumping shit with that one onto Bianca Belair. It's the whole chewing gum and swinging the hair on thing that annoys me. It's like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But it turns out that it was Kairi Sane's last hurrah on NXT, which we'll get to as well. So then, the main event, what can you say about the main event?
What we can say is that we were bang on with the timing.
Yeah.
Almost to the minute. I think it was like 40 minutes, and some seconds. It was incredible how accurate we were with that.
I'd say that when I picked Adam Cole, that was obviously a mistake.
Yeah,
but
it's another one where watching it, I was annoyed at myself for not seeing it, that it was obviously going to be Gargano winning it.
Part of me thought, though, that Gargano was going to be up, and that was him staying up, so they'd give it to Cole to build the division around, but obviously they've now felt that Gargano...
I think the Ciampa injury massively dictated a change in the plans.
Well, I only in the respect of, I think... If that match had been, when we were predicting it, if that match had been Ciampa Gargano at the time, I'd have picked Gargano every day of the week.
Oh yeah, big time.
So the same guy essentially would just replaced Ciampa. But yeah, that again, unbelievable. Really, really enjoyed that match. I think that tied with the tag title match for my favourite match of the whole weekend.
I don't know if you two. So this probably won't mean anything to you, but I don't know if you two saw on some of the dirt sheet stuff that apparently Meltzer gave it 5 stars, I think, or
I was going to say
4 3/4.
We almost listen to Meltzer because of what he says is true. So War Raiders, that's what they're called here, and that's pretty much how it's going to stay. War Raiders and Aleister Black and Ricochet, who no doubt Aleister Black will soon be Aleister, which just sounds really shit.
Unless they go the other way, they just call him Black.
They really can't do that.
I don't think they can go with that.
I think you guys will be with me on the respective don't dick about with his name because you've already ruined his entrance.
Oh my god.
As we talked about the creaking noises
Do you remember
last
us
time.
talking about this last time?
Oh, the creaking floorboard.
Seriously, it sounds terrible. They might as well just basically sort of they might as well just literally add the boy thing when he's coming up.
It's like Carry On Haunted, isn't it? So yeah, Meltzer gave that 4.5 stars, which I was like, I think that was a 5, but fair enough. Velveteen Dream and Riddle 4.5 as well.
Jesus.
Volta and Pete Dunne 4.75.
Wow.
The women's match 3.75, and Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole 5.5. So
fucking hell, so he gave it more than 5.
He went outside of his criteria. God damn it, Dave.
Well, he normally gives any WWE based thing negative 70.6 stars and stuff like that.
It's average, even on the high end, he never gives more than 3 normally, does he?
No.
So the fact that the women's match got 3.75, I guess that's good if you follow Dave Meltzer, or if not, then screw Dave Meltzer.
I believe from the Something to Wrestle podcast, it's fuck Dave Meltzer, and he has a FDM T-shirt that you can buy from the store. I think it's a box that's got FDM, and then I think it's got 5 stars in the box as well. So it's quite funny.
So you're trying to tell us that they're best mates, then, yeah?
Oh, he loves him. And he always goes something like, Meltzer gave it, so Conrad Thompson will say, oh, the match was this, and Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars. He's like, oh yeah, but if it was in the Tokyo Dome, he would have given it 7 stars. So funny.
We'll go on to WrestleMania then. Seems like...
WrestleMania. Oh, Ed does. Is it just me and Andy that always have that song?
No, the single that they released.
Such a good song.
I can't say that I remembered that until you started singing it.
It's just how WrestleMania was when I was
just
a
how
kid.
I operate.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear the word WrestleMania, gotta have a little sing. Go a little sing.
Absolutely.
It's like, but when they should have got Vince McMahon to do it in the stand back style. back in
I'm
those
sure
days.
if you asked him now, he would. It's probably the only thing he can remember nowadays.
Well, we know he's lost his mind after the renaming thing, which we've definitely not mentioned. It's one of them where, like, because I woke up early for work, and I was like, all right, okay, it's been the Superstar shake-up. Stick Raw on for 45 minutes because I've got a bit of time. And they were pretty much first on Raw. And I was like, yes, War Raiders on Raw. No.
Viking experience.
So they're now not Rowan Hansen, the War Raiders. They are
No.
Ivar and Eric, the Viking experience.
This is what I don't get right. So for starters, in a business
They might have
world,
dressed in a longboat. One with the other, pretending to row to the ring.
With the bottom cut out so that they could walk down.
Flintstone style, yeah. Right. In a business world, I understand it's not a very good image to have the word war on your show. I understand that.
I will accept that, but then the following night, when Ember Moon has moved to SmackDown, why is Ember Moon referred to as the War Goddess?
I thought she was the She-Nom.
That just sounds like some sort of sanitary product.
She called herself it.
I know.
The She-Nom has arrived. It was like,
But they do.
Okay.
She is referred to as the War Goddess, and it was spoken on commentary.
I think, yeah, but it's okay to say it in passing, because that's not something that you flash up every sort of time they're shown on screen.
I suppose if you think about like t-shirts and stuff, you've got people walking around with like a WWE branded something that's got the word war, it can be misconstrued.
Yeah. Mm. So I understand that. But one, why change it to something so shit? And two, what was wrong with their names?
Yeah.
Why couldn't their names just be the same as they were?
I wonder whether there's something else with Ring of Honor or something like that that's in there as well.
Because it was War Machine, wasn't it? When they were there.
Yeah. Yeah, they
couldn't use that because of heavy machinery.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can buy a War Raiders t-shirt on WWE.com.
On what from the NXT like sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That is unreal. I can't remember. I was just going to look at it.
Oh. Well, that's a good point, actually. What's happened to the tag titles now that they've gone up?
They have, obviously, it's too soon to mention. I presume that they will still have them, and that they'll possibly lose them at the next TV tapings, maybe.
Mm.
So, WrestleMania. on the pre-show, did we get 4 matches in there?
The tag titles, the 2 battle royals, and the cruiserweight.
And the cruiserweight / pre-show champion. So yeah,
How dare you?
What?
How dare you sully the good name of Tony Nese?
You're just disappointed because the ginger guy lost.
This is such outrageous behaviour.
I can't actually say that because in the predictions, Andy was the only person who picked Buddy Murphy. Everybody else picked Tony Nese. And everybody else was right.
I don't quite know what he's getting at. It's almost like he's trying to mug you off.
It's not. I'm just saying you didn't.
It's almost like he's poking you, saying, "Ha ha, Andy, you're such a silly man."
That's not actually what I'm saying. I'm saying my level of disappointment in you, Paul, cannot be matched for the fact that you didn't stick with your own kind.
Australians?
He's not a real Australian and ginger because he's got to go out in the sun if he lives in Australia.
He's definitely Australian.
Maybe he just dies at ginger then to sympathise. Maybe he's a sympathiser. Anyway, so the Battle Royal, 2 people got it right. one of the people that are in this room, Mr. Paul Williams, and the other one is not. So well done to Gaz picking Braun Strowman as the winner. Also, shenanigans with the Saturday Night Live guys that we mentioned last time, which was just...
Oh my god. Didn't get a chance to text you it, but top banter. So obviously they were in New York City. So it was in the stadium that the Giants and the Jets play. Mm-hmm. So what does one of the Saturday Night Live guys do? Comes out wearing an Odell Beckham jersey for the Cleveland Browns. Instantaneous heat. Absolutely tremendous.
That was the best thing he did all match, though.
Oh yeah, he basically, as soon as the bell rang, shat himself. Just got straight out of the ring.
The women's battle royal, nobody predicted correctly.
No.
Nobody saw Carmella would win that, which...
Well, no one even got close with the person who she last eliminated either.
Who did she last eliminate?
Sarah Logan.
Sarah Rowe.
Is she now called Sarah Rowe on it?
That would be incredible if she was, because then now they're going to have to change her to Ivor and or Eric, whichever it is.
Mrs. Ivor. Mrs. Eric.
Mrs. Experience.
Oh my god.
Then the cruiser, as we mentioned, the cruiserweight title, Tony Nese took that from Buddy Murphy, and the biggest news of the pre-show was Kurt Hawkins ending his losing streak, which has lasted for a ridiculous over 200, nearly 300 matches.
So when Goldberg went on his infamous winning streak of 170 something matches in a row, which absolutely is bullshit because he definitely didn't. Because I think Chris Jericho brought it at some point. It was like so we went to the Monday Nitro taping and he was 140 and 140 and then went to Thunder 3 days later and he was 160 So I was like, okay.
And Goldberg probably didn't even work house shows.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, the Raw tag titles changed hands. The Revival were beaten by New York's favourite sons that evening, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
Now, we didn't discuss the Hall of Fame.
No.
But something of note
happened.
Something of note happened at the Hall of Fame, in which an absolute tool decided it would be a really good idea to don a Rastafarian hat and rush the stage and try and take down Bret Hart.
If you go to Scotland, you get the jock hat with it was the Rasta version of that with the dreads attached. To
I was texting you and I was like,
"What the fuck's happened? What the fuck's
has
going on?"
someone tried to attack Bret Hart?
What he didn't count on was the fact that obviously he's doing it in a arena filled with people who fight for a living.
And I'm sure there was no security there at all.
The security might as well have not been there because they got straight through.
The wrestlers were the first people to get to. Apparently, everyone was saying now, oh, it was impressive how this guy did this guy did this, and then pretty much everyone was just going, and David Hart Smith looked. Oh no, he's not David Hart Smith. His actual name's Harry Smith, isn't it? Mm. Harry Smith got over there, so that's the British Bulldog's son. So Bret Hart's nephew. And apparently he pretty much tore this guy to pieces.
Well, I saw a video the other day, slightly off topic, but I'm sure it was Stone Cold and Triple H, and a fan got in the ring and attacked Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And Triple H
nailed
destroyed him. It was one of those where you were a bit
it happened. Seriously.
What made it worse was when the security finally came and got this guy out of the ring, they led him off a certain direction. 2 minutes later, Triple H is going the same way, and it's I think we need an adult.
But the thing I was going to say was that as this guy, so they got everything settled down, and then obviously got him frog marching him out. And one of the guys that's in the Revival basically sort of was leading him out, and as he was doing it, gave him a fucking uppercut to the face.
Oh, he's giving him digs all the
way. He absolutely fucking nailed him.
But it was not only that as well. It was the Hart Foundation that were being inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The Dash Wilder, who absolutely nailed him with this uppercut, was wearing a Hart Foundation jacket. He's obviously a big fan, probably a little bit miffed.
So he was probably you fucking.
Do you know what? I know it is what it is, but it's unfair on them if anything has come from that to them lose the titles the next time.
Yeah,
I don't think that has any
you'd
bearing
hope that had no bearing on it. I'm assuming it was always going to be the case because Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are both from New York, or New Jersey as is and stuff like that. So I think the idea was always going to be that they wanted them to win anyway. And that just sort of was an unhappy
But one thing that we
circumstance at the time.
that we didn't mention about that particular match was that it was actually it was skirted on the podcast that it was probably going to be added, but it hadn't been made official.
No, it wasn't official at that time.
So that, for people keeping score, wasn't on our list.
It wasn't. It was a late edition.
Which I saw from IGN. They were adding matches up until the day of.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it was a couple of days. I think it was maybe the Thursday night that was added. But just very briefly on the guy who jumped the ring as well for Bret Hart. Did you see Ronda Rousey's husband? The two people that were on the guy first, Travis Brown and Harry Smith.
Oh, I thought Shane McMahon was pretty much in there quite early doors as well. So yeah, just a standard UFC fighter, just getting in there and just absolutely just tearing you to pieces.
There was for the six.
That's what I'd want.
For the 6 to 8 people they had taking the attacker out of the ring, there was 4 people holding back Travis Brown, because even after the guy was down on the ground, he was absolutely belting him. But and it's been said by a few, like Foley was definitely one that came out in support of them, that the guys that stuck up for Bret Hart and actually looked after him all deserve some kind of bonus, because that shouldn't happen or something like that.
No.
The point being is, you don't know. That guy could have had a knife, could have had a gun,
exactly.
could have had anything. And you don't know what's made him do it, you don't know why. You just don't know. And in that situation, it's better to
Act first.
shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
Because your questions could be somebody getting killed.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of the matches that we've got won't be in the order that they were on, because we couldn't guess at all.
And what was probably one of the bigger shocks of WrestleMania as a whole was that the first official match was the Universal Championship match.
Yep.
Which not a lot of people saw coming. But apparently there's loads of rumours doing the rounds that said that apparently Brock was just backstage and he was like, so I'm definitely not going on as the main event, yeah? And they're like, yeah, we've already said it's the women. Put me on first then.
Oh.
And so he did.
Well, we were all sat watching that in the bar, and I think we all looked at each other when that was the first match.
I think everyone was a bit like, sort of, is that, what's Heyman doing coming out? Oh, he's probably just going to do a promo for later on.
Yeah, because Alexa had come out to introduce WrestleMania with the Hulkster. And then
the real American.
And Heyman just pushed past him.
Past him!
That guy does not get paid by the hour, put it that way. Neither of them.
Do you want to know how much Brock Lesnar gets paid a year?
Well, when he first re-signed, it was something like 5 million, wasn't it?
5 million for
5.5 million.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Which is about what?
Do you want to know how much Becky Lynch gets?
About 200 grand?
80 grand.
What?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
equality.
That must be like her basic, and then she gets royalties from her merch on top of that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's making like $1 million from that, though, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, 80 grand.
But then, like,
that's insane.
On those stats though, that'll be Brock's basic as well. So the amount of Suplex City t-shirts he'll have sold and all the rest of it.
Yeah, fucking t-shirts. Jesus Christ.
That's a big fan, obviously, as we can tell.
They've got that down to a T, because everywhere he turns, which it won't be hard to do, because they've only got to print like 5 different cities, because that's all the appearances they do. But they always put the city, don't they, on the t-shirt?
Yeah, so I mean that in itself is just like, all you have to do is change the name and then reprint. But as we know, whenever these podcasts go on, I do like to do my research. That's quote unquote research. So obviously went to my source, the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
The YouTube brought me stuff we were talking about before, which I don't know whether it'll come up, and if it doesn't, I'll bring it up. The Undertaker thing, there was the Roman Reigns thing, but Joe Rogan podcast talking about Brock Lesnar again, saying about the UFC and saying whether it's actually going to happen, and it's starting to look like it's teetering towards not happening. So basically what they've said is that Brock needs to make a decision what he's doing. they know that he is in training. He's training towards this UFC fight. And he's training with some serious people. He's doing some serious training. But isn't making the step towards the UFC. So there's this sort of... Because there's like this card that they've got that's like, where Brock goes to the UFC, this will be the fight. But then there are other people that are now going into the position of, well, they'd be better suited for that fight. So it's looking like the UFC thing might not be happening.
Interesting.
I think he'll be more bothered on a personal level by that than a financial level, because
he don't need the money.
Nah, he's not going back there for the cash. So
I was going to say, at that point, he's doing it for the thrill of the competition.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was why he left way back when, wasn't he, when he went to play American football, because he
didn't like the scripted nature of it and stuff like that. He wanted to actually test himself.
But he soon eventually realised what side of the...
Well, there was a podcast I was listening to where apparently he said that when he went to do the training camp for the Vikings, it was the toughest thing he's ever had to do.
Yeah,
so
doesn't surprise me.
We did have a couple of people still pick Brock to win.
Was one of those in this room?
One of those was in this room. One of those was also Matt.
Oh, Matthew.
Yeah. Everybody else picked Rollins. Everybody picked up the other three of us picked up points there. So another well done to Gaz. Where do you want to go next? Angle Corbin.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Let's get this out of the way, because this was far too high up the card.
Yes.
It was...
What was it? Semi-main event when it ended?
Yeah.
Because praised.
After we'd been watching wrestling for approximately 6 hours, it was like, oh, what have we got left? Oh, yeah.
Well, seriously, when we were discussing it in the bar, I'd completely forgotten about the Triple H Batista match.
Yeah.
At one point.
Wow. It's amazing what beer and tightness will do to
you.
Did you? What did you say, Matt?
He slept through that one, I think.
He's probably just dreaming about Big Dave. Loves a bit of Big Dave. Well, it was a bit undecided because we'd all touted the possibility that Cena might turn up for this instead.
Fucking shit.
Didn't happen.
But he did turn up, didn't he?
Yeah, that was Elias. Do you remember we talked about Elias headlining the musical acts? Well, he did this. It was quite
cool, actually. It looked good.
He said about him, he can play all different musical instruments. So he sat as he normally does in the ring with his guitar, and then up on the big screen there was him like with a piano and like a drum kit. So Elias was his own band, and as he started, he then was interrupted by none other than John Cena, but
no,
the Doctor.
It was old school.
Well, it was the fact that we got a video package of Babe Ruth.
But there was also a weird part about that where it was mentioned about the Chicago Cubs in the video, and it was like there was that small fanboy part of me that was like, "Fucking hell, this is CM Punk." Oh no, it's not, and it never happened.
Oh, Stuart!
And it'll never happen. It'll never come back.
You silly fucker.
Some people last night on the Shake Up were like, because Vince McMahon had put this thing out about. It's the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history. Everybody knows this is going to be Roman Reigns, but the amount of people online going, CM Punk's just
do you know what?
Vince McMahon on Twitter.
I was convinced it was going to be Strowman.
Nah.
Convinced.
Nah. Anyway.
But,
yes. So the video package of the baseball thing, the Babe Ruth thing plays purely so that Michael Cole can then say that John Cena is the Babe Ruth of WWE, which is something I've never heard them mention before. And then comes out as the Doctor.
Old school John Cena.
Yep.
Thugonomics, wasn't it?
It was. Doctor.
People were quite enjoying the fact that he got a little bit risque with his rap.
Yeah, it was good.
It was like some people say you're a little bitch, but I think you're just nothing but a little shit Sue or something. I can't remember what it was, but he was basically calling her a piece of shit.
The best part of it for me was actually Elias's retort the following night on Raw when the line, because John Cena at WrestleMania had mentioned bringing out the golden shovel to bury him, and the line on Raw the night after was something Elias saying to the camera, "You bring the golden shovel, John, that's what you do. I'm holding up these three fingers.
The middle one's for you."
That was perfect. Absolutely.
If I'm honest, I've actually used that since.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. So yeah, we're going back to the Angle Corbin thing. Unfortunately, a few people had said Cena might turn up in that. He didn't. Everybody else had said that Angle was going to win, and he didn't. Which
he's
done the honourable thing on his way out the door, hasn't he?
I think he's come out and said that he was always, no matter who the opponent was going to be, he was always going to end up losing that match. Which I suppose is the right call.
A favourite phrase of mine is "life's full of missed opportunities," and all of that just reeks of missed opportunities.
Massively does.
I don't know why they decided, especially if Cena hadn't have turned up at all, fine.
Yeah,
but he was there, and they could have used him for that, and it would have just been, in a situation where that's the last time that they could do that, the last opportunity.
Well, I mean, we say it's the last opportunity, but everyone knows that retirements in wrestling are worth about as much as,
Saudi Arabia were willing to pay for it.
Greek drachma.
I don't know what you're on about. I mean, look at the Undertaker, for example.
He's never said he's retired.
Shawn Michaels has. Ric Flair
did. Terry Funk did about 18 times, didn't he?
He just does it for the send-off. I think he enjoys a piss up, that lad. But yeah, we'll move away from that, because the least said about Corbin winning anything, the better.
You really like him?
The Miz versus Shane McMahon Falls Count Anywhere. Big shout to Andy on this one, the only person to pick Shane O'Mac. And he, in the loosest sense, won. In the sense of they fell off something massive and Shane McMahon just happened to be the
So
person
I
on
think
top.
I fucked myself over for this, because I said that Miz would probably win when Shane comes off something and then Miz pins him.
Yeah.
And it was the complete opposite way around.
Well, they did fall off something massive, and it was like a rigging for the camera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Shane McMahon, the best in the world.
Don't play against the money.
Which is another thing that's got people thinking, they're going to bring back CM Punk. They're going to bring back CM Punk. No.
They're not going to bring back CM Punk.
He doesn't want to come back.
Following on my list, we've got Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Solid match. Did what it sort of said on the tin. As I thought after what happened on SmackDown before.
Slightly ruined by the fact that apparently there was a big light on that stopped half the people in the stadium from seeing the match.
People that were sat at like the opposite end to where the screen was put up, they had the lighting rig coming down towards the ring, and one of the lights was right at our level, and Randy Orton was the only person from the company that's like apologised for it, because he was a bit peeved.
So speaking of Randy Orton, again, after the WrestleMania podcast, I went and watched the 10 best
RKO out of nowhere.
But because we talked about the one where he's jumped up.
Seth Rollins at 31.
And I'm pretty sure that was number one.
Yeah, it has to be. It was incredible.
So I watched all them, and it was just like, that's insane.
Did you see him mildly take the piss out of it though as well on Raw?
The light thing.
Yeah, because he kind of because he ran it and did an RKO, then rolled out of the ring and then walked up the ramp. I can't see. I
think that was on. It was on SmackDown last week. I think. Yeah, it was quite funny.
For once in your life, you've been a decent human being, and then no. You're going to take the piss out of you live on television.
I'm guessing. Well, just for the scoring, 3 of us picked AJ, Andy and Matt picked Randy Orton, so didn't pick up the points there. Moving on, I'm guessing Andy might have something on this one as well. The Triple H Batista match, because we know that you love the nose ring. We've discussed.
Oh my god!
On podcasts gone.
Oh, have you seen any of it yet?
So we've had a conversation about this.
Now, did you see the best bit of the match, which was Dave Batista trying to get in the ring?
Back to my phone.
So he's fallen, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You should be able to come out of that.
If I can, I'm hoping I'm not going to cut Matt off it. I'm just going to find something that I can show to the camera, because we'd mentioned...
You are still there, Matt, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've mentioned numerous times before about this has probably gone slightly wrong, because he was doing Guardians, then he wasn't, and then he definitely was doing it all over again. And a lot of the promos for the new film was Avenge the Fallen. So I'm going to show this to Andy first. And I'm going to show that to that camera.
Oh.
And that should be the Drax the Destroyer.
Sometimes the internet just delivers.
Yeah.
Just delivers.
So yeah, that was good. That was the first high spot, shall we say, in the match.
So funny.
But then, just Batista still got it with his facial expressions from that the pair of pliers which came out.
So now I'm starting to think that the nose thing was never actually real.
What, as in it wasn't?
He never actually had a real piercing. It was just there.
No, that's been set up from the get-go.
Yeah.
For the storyline purposes.
But everybody was smart enough to pick Triple H to win that. So everybody picked up points on that one.
The golden shovel's only used for certain people. Certainly not Trips.
Well, the whole thing about him never being beaten by Batista, I couldn't see Batista carrying on with that, especially because he's not there for the long term.
And obviously, in the aftermath of said match, Mr. Batista has announced his retirement from in-ring competition.
No!
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Weird that.
No, but he's only just come back. Wow. I mean, I
did not see this
didn't see
coming.
that coming. Speaking of Triple H, again, watched the video. That was just entitled Triple H gets annoyed by Stephanie McMahon for 1 minute straight.
I've seen this when they're walking around the shop. Yeah, it's class.
What?
It's they're doing a promo video before WrestleMania, and they're walking around the Superstore at Access, and they're there to try and like promote. This is where like the replica belts are. This is where the T-shirts are. This is where that is. And he just does not want to be there, does he? At all. And she keeps like trying to bring him back on side, and she obviously knows that he's pissed off. But then there comes a point in the video where she realises what's happening and just does it to push his buttons.
Yeah, she just leans into it, somewhat wrong. But it starts way before this. They must be like leaving the house or something. And she's like videoing him, and it's like, trips. And he's like, it's like you're the TMZ guy that's like, following me and like asking me stuff. And yeah, like she just leans into it, and there's like captions that flash up on the screen for different things. Like one of them was, "Yes, I remember. I'm not that old."
Should we move to the Roman versus Drew McIntyre match as well? One person got this wrong. Everybody picked Roman apart from Matt. I'm not sure why you did that, Matt. I can't.
Just because I was pissed off and I knew what was going to happen and it annoyed me, so I just thought, fuck you. I'm just going to go with what I was.
Too right, Matt. Too right.
But the one upshot of this,
I mean, obviously I got it right, but
the one upshot of this should be that because Roman Reigns has now been traded to SmackDown and McIntyre's left on Raw, surely the person who will beat Rollins for the belt will be McIntyre.
You'd hope so. Or are they going to try and build to some sort of Roman versus Seth match at
for both belts?
No, at Survivor Series where they do like the champions versus each other. So yeah, again, we'll just move on. It was a bit of a.
Excuse me.
I don't really remember too much from that match. I don't know if it was because it wasn't great or if it was because I was just fucking tired.
It was just in one of those. It was just in one of those positions where it was just like, yeah, it's like 4 a.m. All I want to do is just watch the end of the thing and go home. Don't think I got into bed till 7:20.
Was it that late?
I think it was that late.
Jesus. The women's tag title match probably threw up the biggest surprise of the night.
Yeah.
One person, again, Gaz, got this right. We all got it wrong. Everybody picked a different team.
But we did say that someone had to get it right because we had picked all 4 teams across the...
That person was Gaz because the winners of that match are iconic.
They are indeed.
So yeah, and to be fair, they've taken on that comedy mantle quite well.
Yeah.
And since WrestleMania, the stuff that they've done with the belts, right down to having the side plates change and everything that they've put out on TV was good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, the Iconics now the new women's tag team champions. The shortest match of the night went to the US title. Samoa Joe champion versus Rey Mysterio. Andy picked Rey Mysterio. that was wrong in 50 seconds, wasn't it?
It was one of those matches where I know they've advertised it and stuff like that, but save yourself the sort of 5-6 minutes that you're gonna, or probably 10 minutes that you've budgeted for the match, including the entrances and stuff like that, and just give more time to.
And just don't do it.
Another match that needs it. Just don't have the match.
Best thing about that match, Mysterio, his WrestleMania costume was Mysterio, as in the bad guy from Spider-Man. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, I did not pick up on that at all.
So yeah, enjoy that. Everybody got the following match right, which was Bobby Lashley versus Demon Balor.
Demon
Balor.
Undefeated.
Demon Balor. Bleh.
Did he go... Not at any point.
I think he did give it the old bleh a few times.
Oh! Was this the semi-main event? I think this was the one that was on before the women's match.
Semi.
You're a child.
I know.
But everybody got that right. Demon Balor, should I say, keeps his undefeated one-on-one pay-per-view record.
And that was
alive.
a fucking quick match as well. That was only like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but would you want to see a 20-minute war with anything involving Bobby Lashley at the moment?
I don't mind Lashley.
I don't either, but get rid of that annoying little 12-year-old shitbag that follows him around. I know that's kind of the point of him before anybody says. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Leo Rush as the cheerleader.
The hype man.
Cheerleader.
Hype bros.
So that leaves us 3 matches left.
Some might say 3 of the best matches.
3 of the best.
Well, the next one I'm going to mention is the SmackDown Tag Team title match, which Gaz had thrown in there that if Black and Ricochet had lost at TakeOver, they would win. Black and Ricochet did lose at TakeOver, but did not win. But the other option he gave was the Usos. So we need to decide if we're giving him the point, because this is crucial.
I'm going to defer this to Matt, because Matt had quite a lot to say on this.
Matt, so where you then have the deciding vote on this. So Gaz, our guest predictor, picked the Usos.
No, you can't hedge. You can't hedge your bets. It's like saying, well, okay then. Yeah, if I do this, then I'll just put this on the back burners as well. But if I had £100, I'd buy that, but I don't. So no. He's proviso in.
His first pick, to Gaz's credit, his first pick was the Usos. It was only afterwards that if Black and Ricochet lost, then he'd pick them. So where are you a definite no?
Be a man and pick a person like me, like me picking the Usos.
Here he is.
Claws are out.
Here he is.
Shots are fired.
Shots fired.
So on that end, then I'm gonna have to amend my scorecard ever so slightly, because we have had an official adjudication. So the winner of that match and retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles,
but not for long,
to then lose them the following Tuesday night at the Hardys. So the Usos did win that match, which was picked by Paul, Matt, and nobody else now, thanks to the line judge on that call.
VAR.
VAR.
Get out.
Two matches left. The WWE title match. Gaz picked Daniel Bryan. I picked Daniel Bryan. Everybody else went for Kofi. So, unfortunately...
Kofi Mania, baby.
Unfortunately, my favourite title belt from the last couple of years is now no longer, because it didn't even last the end of the night. It went straight in the bin. And they brought...
Are they still selling them?
They had
replicas.
They had them for sale at Access, but they've not appeared on the shop yet. But the ones that they were selling at Access, they had two versions of it. One was a replica, which was still the same price as everything else, considering how cheap it would be to make. And it wasn't even accurate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What was it?
The stones that are in the belt at the top are like white stones, and they just put like a single plastic white strip across the top, so it looks rubbish. The other version they were selling was a TV version, which was the exact same belt, so basically one of the spares that they've had. They had 5 of them apparently available throughout Access. Just would have... they had it signed by Daniel Bryan as well. Would have set you back a tidy $5,000.
Woo!
That's dollars, so yeah, whatever the conversion was.
Oh, it's only $3,500. Yeah, it's fine.
So you guys picked up points on that, but not me and Gaz. And then the main event came around. Where do we stand on the main event? Did we enjoy the main event? Was it worth the hype?
I think I should go back and watch it again, because I know that at the end there was a table spot. I honestly can't remember it.
The table was set up in the corner, and then Charlotte was put through the table by Becky and Ronda. And then the finish was the roll-up, wasn't it?
Yes. That everyone was saying, oh, they've botched it.
Because Ronda's shoulders weren't down when the referee was counting. And that is very visible, because they were up by a long way. Whether it was done on purpose to bring her back in at a later point, whether it wasn't, the 3 count went down, Becky won. So the only person who picked Ronda was Andy. Everybody else picked the man, Becky Lynch. So everybody else picked up points.
Yeah, boy.
So we'll get to the final scores for who picked what. Out of a possible, what do we have in the end? Was it 15 at the time? Because the 16th was added afterwards. Andy got 5. Matt got 7. I got 8. After the call earlier on, Gaz sat as a final score on 10 points, to be beaten by 1 point with Mr. Paul Williams on 11 out of 15 at the time. So that is pretty solid.
Give Gaz the point.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
But yeah, appreciate Gaz sending in the predictions. And
yes.
If anybody else is listening along, next time we do the predictions for one of the pay-per-views, you're welcome to send your predictions in to us.
And I will apologise to Gaz for being, questioning his...
No, well, mate, you said you pick it and you stick to it, so you pick it and you stick to it.
No, I said that.
So after WrestleMania, we've had a little bit of sort of swapping and changing, because we have had the Superstar shake-up. We mentioned a few of the people. I've got the full list of people who went from from SmackDown to Raw and vice versa. We have had some quite big names. We've had confirmation as well that Ricochet and Aleister Black are now on Raw. That was in the list never mentioned, I don't think, on the programme, but it was on the list on the website. The biggest things, I think, to come from it are Lacey Evans has finally started actually fighting. She's on Raw as well. Sanity have been broken up because Eric Young has gone to Raw, but the other two, one of them, Alexander Wolf, has asked for his release.
Has he actually been granted it?
We don't know yet. It's not been confirmed. Cedric Alexander has gone from 205 Live straight up to Raw, and Lars Sullivan went to Raw, and then the following night went to SmackDown. So I don't know why they did that. It was very strange. But AJ Styles and The Miz were probably the biggest two names to move. The Miz has been moved every time there has been a draft. So he's swapped every single time. But yeah, we've mentioned it already, but the War Raiders are no more, and they are the Viking Experience now.
I mean, what the fuck?
There was a fan.
So shit.
Matt, did you see the thing from Jorvik Viking Centre on social media?
That was funny.
I mean, fucking hell. I mean, it just sounds like something that a primary school would pay for, and shit. I'm expecting the leaflet on my door, like on my desk when I get back to school. Viking Experience sounds terrible.
So just a strange one, but well played from Jorvik Viking Centre, because they actually tagged NXT and WWE and mentioned the whole thing.
It was funny.
It was great. They said that they'd got back to work on Tuesday morning and thought something had exploded because their inbox was full of the people like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And if they capitalise on it, bit of free publicity for them. So well done. The big movers to SmackDown. The Intercontinental Championship, along with Finn Balor.
Yeah, so this is what I noticed. This so technically, there's no secondary championship on Raw anymore.
I think that'll probably be addressed. I think they'll either get
Money in the Bank or something like that.
They'll either get somebody from Raw to take the US title off Joe, or
which I'd be a bit pissed off about.
Yeah,
because Joe just keeps getting shafted, and I don't like that.
Occasionally before, when they've had the draft, they've also had like almost like a transfer window for the rest of that week where some things have been announced online afterwards. So we still might get some more movement possibly. But yeah, Kairi Sane has been brought up from NXT.
Quite happy with that.
Buddy Murphy's moved from 205 Live to SmackDown Live. Apollo Crews and Mickey James have jumped ship. Obviously, Apollo Crews, it might be a fresh start for him.
Missed that completely.
Yeah, I don't think it was on TV.
No,
I think it was just mentioned online. But yeah, Mickey James is obviously. I'll always mention Mickey James. Liv Morgan has gone. Another one that wasn't mentioned on TV, as far as I know. But
nope, definitely wasn't.
That is the breakup of the Riot Squad, which seems a bit of a shame.
It seems an unusual one. That one does.
I'd have probably moved the whole all three of them.
Yeah.
Well, they moved them before, didn't they? Because they were on SmackDown and they all got moved to Raw.
Yeah.
Or have I got that the wrong way around?
No, you're right. Ember Moon has gone. Bayley has gone.
Another one that seems a bit strange.
Oh, I'm happy that they've split up that tag team because we don't have to talk about the Boss and Hook connection ever
No,
again.
it's the best name ever. It's up there with the Viking Experience as the best team name of all time.
They should just put experience on the end of everything, every name.
Yeah,
they come
the
out.
Roman Reigns Experience.
The Demon Experience.
Oh, man, can you imagine? For Kairi saying the Pirate Experience afterwards as well.
Oh, God.
Keep going with it.
Well, no, they just call it the Sane Experience. Oh, wait a minute, that just sounds a bit weird.
They've also moved Elias.
Yes.
And
He was the biggest signing in SmackDown history.
yeah, according to Vince McMahon, Elias was the most lucrative signing in SmackDown's history.
Yeah, he was, and then 2 minutes later he was getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
Punch in the face!
By the newest acquisition, Mr. Roman Reigns. Which,
Yeah. Arguably the biggest mover of the lot.
Well, I'd say joint, personally.
With...
Probably, I think AJ is probably the big mover the other way.
Yeah, well that was I mean, that was the most obvious one of the lot for me.
Yeah.
It was just so obvious that what else was there for him to do on SmackDown? Plus, everyone's going to be creaming their pants over the thought of a AJ versus Seth Rollins feud.
But they also were teasing, apparently, they get back together of the club, but they've moved Finn Balor to SmackDown, so that's not going to happen anymore. I thought it was done quite well that they were building it up as they had a 6-man tag match, and who is going to be the partner of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And it was almost like they were trying to set it up to immediately bring Dean Ambrose back and everybody have the big shock. But it was AJ that ended up being the partner. So yes, that pretty much covers everything WrestleMania and Superstar Shake-Up.
Yes. WWE.
Done. We do have a little bit more than we usually have tonight though as well, because coming up in the next few weeks there are a few events that we're attending between the guys here. Myself and Matt are headed down to London to see Progress's Super Strong Style 16 tournament, which is taking place over the May Bank holiday weekend at Alexandra Palace. For those of you that don't know, Progress are a British independent company that have been around. First show was in 2012. They're usually based in and around London, but they have started touring over more recent times. They do shows in Sheffield, Manchester, more recently Bournemouth, Birmingham, and very shortly Newcastle, which will be hopefully Paul breaking his Progress duck. Just
That cherry's going to get busted up nice.
all I'm saying, bring your wallet.
What, I've got to buy you fucking beers or something?
Well, more than you will know.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
the biggest show that they've done to date was in September last year, and they did Wembley Arena, which had nearly 5,000 people in an independent wrestling show.
It's pretty good going.
And it was also Matt Riddle's last independent booking as well. With people that have gone through the company, I mean, Matt, you'll be able to list far more than I can, I'm sure. But people that the listeners will have heard of, we'd be talking Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, so pretty much British Strong Style, but quite a few others as well. Still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got. I mean, all loads of the big ones in like WWE, kind of sort of a few on the main roster, and a lot of the NXT kind of ones as well. So like Finn Balor has been there a few times as Prince Devitt as he was then, and came out dressed like the Joker. It was pretty awesome. That was a good one. Ricochet, and then you've got Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong, Ciampa, some of the guns. Aleister Black as Tommy End, who I'm pretty sure, if I check with Super Strong Style, he won Super Strong Style 16.
Was he one of the? He must have been one of the first winners then, if he won.
Yeah.
So, potentially stupid question.
Yep.
So the tournament is Super Strong Style 16.
Yep.
I'm sure that means there's been 15 before this.
No.
Right. Okay.
It's Super Strong Style 16.
Number of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's a 16-person tournament.
Right.
And
Again with you.
it's held over the 3 days. So the ultimate winner is crowned on the Bank Holiday Monday, and then they get a Future Progress title match.
Okay.
Last year it was won by Zack Sabre Jr.
Very nice.
The title match, I think, originally was scheduled to be at the Wembley show, but he had some sort of issues with booking with New Japan, and he ended up not having. He couldn't work the Wembley show. So the title match was it? I want to say Tyler Bate.
It was Tyler Bate Volta, yeah.
Yeah. Hell of a match that as well.
Yeah.
But I've got the list here of the people that all 16 entrants have been confirmed. There'll be some names that people are familiar with, some people that you definitely won't be, I would assume. But people that you will have heard of. We're talking Travis Banks, who's currently on NXT UK. He's a former Progress champion, and I believe he's won Super Strong Style 16 before as well.
Yes.
I think in 2017, if I remember rightly. Known as the Kiwi Buzzsaw. We've got Ilya Dragunov. He's come through quite recently into NXT UK. He's a Russian guy, and if you look at him, you'd think he's pretty scrawny, but he is absolutely hard. He's just
It's absolutely hard.
Great. He's really. Have we seen him twice now? In person?
Ilya Dragunov?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the pastiest guy I've ever seen.
Like, more so than Sheamus.
He makes Sheamus look like he's got a tan.
It's insane. He's like almost see-through.
Classic.
He does the good kind of like not heel, like face kind of takes a really good beating and then comes back right at the end kind of thing. So.
He's got like that small stature about him, but he can definitely go.
There you go. Yeah, Tommy End was the first winner of Super Strong Style 16. So.
We've got a guy called Trevor Lee in the lineup this time, who it might be familiar to people who have.
I know Trevor Lee.
Watched TNA. Mm-hmm. He was in TNA. One thing I found out about him when I was looking him up was that he was actually trained by Matt and Jeff Hardy. Yeah,
he's a North Carolinian.
Mm. But he's recently signed with WWE.
Yeah, I think he's going to NXT.
Yeah, he only signed his contract in January, so he's training at the Performance Centre was the last thing I read about him.
He's a bit of a weird looking kid. He's he certainly was in TNA anyway. He had a bit of a straggly beard and sort of long hair, and he just looked a bit unkempt.
Former X Division
champ, so he can obviously go.
We've got Aerostar, who is a Mexican wrestler working with the AAA promotion. Predominantly from what I've seen him before, I've only really tag team stuff that I've seen him before, so it'd be interesting to see him on his own.
Now, is this guy actually Mexican, or is he Mexican like Ligero is Mexican?
As far as I know, he's actually Mexican. But that could just be because they keep it kayfabe and I'm too stupid to realise. Yeah.
So there's a guy who wrestles for NXT
Until he break
UK.
your heart at the end and tell you he's from Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a guy who wrestles for NXT UK called Ligero. And he's the Mexican sensation from Leeds, England.
We've also got Artemis Spencer. He's a Canadian guy, mostly known for working with a promotion called Defy in North America. Don't really know too much about him, but apparently he's been around for quite a while, so maybe that's my ignorance, or maybe I'm not sure, but it's always good to see new people. So I'm all up for that. One of the more recognisable sort of imports is DJZ or DJZ if you're British. He was the former Zima Ion in TNA. He's a former 2-time X Division champion, but he has also worked for AAA in Mexico. It's been rumoured that WWE have been sort of touting him, but nothing has been announced up to this point. It was quite recent that those rumours have sprung up. It was sort of mid-March, so that could develop. With Progress kind of having strong ties to WWE, then there's a good chance there's some basis to those rumours, but we'll see what happens. He became DJZ rather than Zima Ion, and he has this like cool ring entrance stuff now where he's his whole kit is just LEDs. So that's pretty cool. We've got Jordan Devlin, the Irish ace. He was trained by Finn Balor.
He always comes across as a proper pipe.
Yeah, he does.
The whole back for
I see what he means, and like there was the match between him and Balor at Takeover UK when they had it in Blackpool, and the crowd really laid into him for that. He is just like essentially Diet Balor. He's from the same place. He kind of looks very similar. He's just not at Balor's level yet, but he's been a part of both of the UK title tournaments. That
we all have to start somewhere.
True. So he's
good. And last year's Super Strong Style, he did the greatest overhead kick of a beach ball that I've ever seen, and landed on his feet. It's insane. Well, one of the other wrestlers, Chuck Mambo, comes in, and he's meant to be like a surfer guy. He's from that kind of, he's from the South Coast, so he comes in and everybody chucks beach balls in, and this beach ball came over, and Jordan Devlin did an overhead kick and landed on his feet, and it was just, they might as well have just walked out there, because nothing that happened,
Wow.
The match was absolutely fantastic afterwards, but nothing was going to top the fact that he absolutely caught this beach ball sweet as fuck after, and then landed on his feet. It's genius.
It's a good thing Cesaro wasn't in that arena at the same time.
It's the only time that beach balls have been welcome in a wrestling arena.
Yeah.
We've got Chris Ridgway entering the tournament, who when we've talked about this before recording, Chris Ridgway is probably one of our picks to win, I'd say, from what we were discussing earlier. He's a British guy. He's fought his way through the UK Indies. He recently had a Progress title match with Volta in February, and he's pretty qualified as well, Matt.
He's got a black belt and being hard as fuck.
So yeah.
Where did you get that from?
Oh, to follow up his degree in being as hard as fuck.
Oh, okay. Was it from the University of Hard Knocks?
No, you're mixing things now.
Sorry.
Yeah, Paul, come on.
That was you might be able to.
That's not a real university.
Just to change it slightly, like so when I think it's ESPN do their coverage of the NFL, they do that thing where they go through the teams and it's the pictures of the players and it's Aaron Rodgers, Stanford, and they basically say the college they were at. And if it was ever Terrell Suggs when he was playing for the Ravens, it'd be T Sizzle, University of Hard Knocks. Just go to the next person.
Did he really not have a college?
I don't know where he went to college, but yeah, he's just a fucking retard. He's just like off the fucking chain.
We've the next entrant I've got on my list is a former 2-time Progress Tag Team Champion, part of CCK and Schadenfreude, Mr. Chris Brooks, the tallest wrestler I've ever seen. He is really tall and really skinny.
Taller than the Big Show.
It's going to be close.
He looks really tall due to, I mean, he is so like lanky. It's like, that's insane.
If like for how skinny he is, you're saying about the Big Show's height. If you put like the Big Show's like side through like a bacon slice, that would be like the right height and width for Chris Brooks because he is that thin. But yeah, he's really had to come on as a singles wrestler, so it'd be good to see him in this because he's always been part of like the team. We mentioned CCK, which for those that don't know, the Calamari Catch Kings. And he's been teamed up with a few people within that group, namely Kid Lycos and John Gresham. There's been a few other iterations of that team, haven't there?
Yeah, with Timothy Thatcher as well, who's part of the ring camp stable with Volta, and I mean he's a nasty bastard, him like so. But it's Chris Brooks is it's kind of a mainstay of Progress and kind of one of those, but definitely a fan favourite.
I don't think anybody will be disappointed if he wins that tournament.
Oh no, the place will. He'll go nuts if he wins. It will be awesome if he wins.
Speaking of nasty bastards, one person that's been entered into the tournament is Paul Robinson, not the goalkeeper that you all know,
or the guy from Neighbours.
Oh, do you know what? If it is the guy from Neighbours, he has changed drastically. This guy.
He's a bit of a bastard in Neighbours.
Well, he's just
got one leg.
What?
I'm sure he only had one leg.
Like in the story, or is it like some urban legend that you...
No, as in the story, he only had one leg.
But he was an underhand kind of...
Oh, he was a deceptive motherfucker.
Well, this guy who we're talking, he was medically retired in 2017. He's like the indie version of Daniel Bryan, because then he fought for his dreams. He definitely would not ever say that. He's the most Essex person you could possibly... If you thought Meathead from Essex, that's the guy that you're thinking of. But yeah, he was part of a tag team called the Swords of Essex with Will Ospreay, which were, up until recently, they were the Progress Tag Team Champions, and he was previously been in Super Strong Style 16 before in 2017. He's quite up. He's had sort of feuds with Jimmy Havoc, and he's been involved in like the hardcore stuff as well since he came back. So the guy who's been medically retired has been hitting people with light tubes.
Of course he fucking has. Jesus Christ.
There's a guy called Darby Allin who I've not really seen much of.
He's signed for AEW.
That's the only thing I could find on him as well, other than the fact that he's married to Priscilla Kelly. But I'm hoping that I'd rather not know who they're married to, and just rather know like if they're actually any good at it or not.
Priscilla Presley.
He's scheduled actually to fight Cody Rhodes or the American Nightmare coming up at an event in June. So he must be a pretty good stead if he can keep up with Cody. We've got Daga. He works for AAA. He's a former AAA Cruiserweight champion, currently with Dragon Gate in Japan. But that is, again, all I know about him. I've never seen this guy before, so it's going to be some more new blood. Have you ever seen anything, Matt?
No, I've not seen him wrestle either, no.
We've got Lucky Kid, he's a German guy, again, predominantly a tag team wrestler from what I could see. Another guy I've not seen too much of. But from what I could see, he's been working with the WXW promotion, which is where like Volta and Dragunov and people like that came through. We've got Kyle Fletcher, who is one half of the Aussie Open tag team, nicknamed himself...
The Aussie Experience.
Well, he is the Aussie Arrow, which could lead to an Aussie Experience. Again, he's another predominantly tag team wrestler, so we'll see what happens when he gets put into a singles situation. 2 to go, and Matt will know which one I'm going to leave till last. The biggest name in the tournament, a guy who you will know of, is Mr. Kyle O'Reilly, part of the Undisputed Era.
Good wrestler.
He, former Ring of Honor World Champion, 3-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Bobby Fish, who's another guy who's also in the Undisputed Era in NXT. I think they were always going to get somebody from NXT, but I wouldn't have thought they'd have got somebody who's quite involved with like the main picture of NXT. So I was
going to say you could definitely argue he's one of the main players in NXT. Absolutely.
And the very last person I'm going to mention is Matt's favourite, Mr. David Starr.
Wait for this.
So do you want to go through his full list, Matt, or do you want me to do it?
You can go through. I can't. I don't have it to hand.
So David Starr likes to be introduced as the cream in your coffee, your favourite wrestler's favourite wrestler, the Jewish canon, the physical embodiment of charisma, which is definitely not me, the Bernie Sanders of professional wrestling, the most entertaining man in professional wrestling, Mr. American Rana, Davey Wrestling, the 104-minute man, the main event, he's really good at Twitter, the king of taunts, the product, David Starr, to give him his full introduction. He...
Where's this guy from?
He's wrestled for... You'll have heard of CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling, I'm assuming.
I've heard it, but I...
Former stomping ground of Mr. John Moxley.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose, yeah. He's wrestled for Rev Pro, he's done stuff with the WXW in Germany, Ring of Honor, TNA. He had a WWE tryout in 2014, which was the same class as Kevin Owens, Roderick Strong, a few others like that. But he is wicked.
Is he American?
Yeah.
But you said he lives here now.
He's moved over here. Yeah. He's spending a lot of time doing the UK circuit. I would suspect that he will turn up. I mean, after some of his recent tweets about kind of some of the WWE stuff, possibly not. But But then I would expect at some point he'll end up in the WWE because he is a really good talker. I mean, me and James saw him for Defiant Wrestling against Volta, and it was like in this run of where I think he wrestled Volta in like about 4 or 5 different companies and just hadn't beaten him, but he took the beating of a lifetime. I mean, Volta chucked him around like a rag doll. He just kept on coming back, and it was awesome. I think there was I can't remember which Progress chapter it is. And I mean, he goes for Volta just it's all out, and he's just there's nothing. He's not doing spectacular flips or anything like that, but he's just it's just some really good kind of works the crowd really well, and like really embodiment of charisma.
There will be a draw that will take place at some point, and that will determine the brackets for who fights who and what the path will be. But there have been a few other matches announced for the 3-day event as well, which current champion, Progress champion Volta versus current Atlas title holder. The Atlas division is like the opposite of the cruiserweights. You can only fight for that title if you're 205 pounds or more. So yeah, big lads wrestling.
Amazing.
But those titles have been unified at Super Strong Style this year. So it's Trent Seven versus Volta, and the winner takes all on that one.
So that's Volta then.
That's a funny one, because I can't imagine Volta's going to keep the Progress thing being the NXT UK champion.
Yeah.
But then, obviously Trent Seven's doing.
Yeah.
Doing what he's doing, so
it's one of them where you could flip a coin to say who wins, but then how long are they going to have it for before somebody else steps up to like the?
I wonder kind of what happened with the person winning it, like winning it on Monday.
Well, as in because that title unification is going to take place on the Sunday.
Yeah.
As in, you think they might win the tournament and then go straight into the title match?
I wonder whether there'll be something in it like that.
Ooh.
I don't know.
That'd be good. There's also a women's match on the 5th of May, which is Ginny versus Session Moth Martina, and the winner of that goes into the women's title match on the Monday. Sorry. I'm happy because I like Session Moth Martina. She's from Ireland. She likes a big bag of cans with the lads.
Big bag of cans! Big bag of cans!
She likes to, in her own words, it's bants to grind on wrestling legends. She's got pictures on her Instagram.
Right, that makes a lot of sense, because all I keep seeing on Twitter is people retweeting her photos.
Yeah, there's some really funny stuff.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
She's good at what she does. I quite enjoy her stuff, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing her in person. And as we mentioned, there's a Progress women's title match on the Monday, which is a 4-way match. Nina Samuels of NXT UK fame versus Millie McKenzie. Jordan Grace, who are, again, another one of my favourites, so I'm happy about that. She's current Impact Women's Champion and Progress Women's Champion.
Jordan Grace's?
Yeah. And she's out there.
When did she win the Impact Championship?
She won the Impact Championship.
When was that?
Recently. Within
Really? I thought it was still Tessa Blanchard.
I might be wrong on that, but she has.
No, Jordan Grace is.
Is she?
Oh.
Definitely. Cool. I thought she was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Versus the winner of that
She's quite
mentioned.
cute.
Also, as well, there is the Hangover Scramble.
I mean, this sounds... You said this earlier.
Yeah.
And this sounds ridiculous.
So it takes place on the last day, and it's everybody that has lost so far in Super Strong Style 16 in a massive battle royal, and the winner gets the final the winner gets the last semi-final spot. So that could be just an all-out.
Oh, semi-finals.
Yeah, that's how it reads. That's how it reads. So.
But
I know.
Sometimes it depends on how it goes, because in the past it's if they work it, because I think it was the second Super Strong Style 16 where one of the wrestlers got properly injured, so they had to find a replacement for them. So like last year was it? Last year it was
Tyler Bate, wasn't it?
Tyler Bate who had to drop out, so they replaced him from the Hangover Scramble, which was Cassius Ono or Chris Hero. Kind of took his place and then went through to the final. So I think sometimes it's a work, sometimes it's a real thing. I think the idea of it came from a real thing, but then it's become a bit of a work some years, and then possibly last year it being a real thing.
It's kind of a good idea in one sense though, because they've built in their own backup plan, haven't they? If anything does go.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one part of Super Strong Style 16 that we've not mentioned yet that is also happening is possibly the weirdest thing you will ever watch. I showed a video of this to a lady who I work with today who...
I was horrified.
She just... I said, I know exactly what face you're going to pull when I show you this, and it was the exact face I was expecting. It's like, what else can you possibly say other than... If you've not heard of Kaiju Big Battle, go on YouTube, look it up, and just think, what the is this? Because it is just nuts.
I mean, I googled it. I googled it just to kind of do a bit of research for now, and the first picture that comes up in Google Images is Burger Bear, which is exactly what it sounds like. A bear with a burger for a head, and the top half of his body fighting Dr. Cube, which is basically a doctor with a cube on his head because he's been that disfigured, And then you go to the next one, and it's a French toast doing a frog splash from the top rope, and that is someone in whose whole suit is French toast. It's insane.
It's something that was started by an entertainment group that are actually from America, but they're called Studio Kaiju. The first one I could see recorded was on Halloween in 1996, so that's been around for quite a long time. But it's in their own description, it's something that parodies pro wrestling and tokusatsu kaiju films from Japan.
Which I'm pretty sure the gentleman to our right may be able to give a little bit more information on.
So, like, Kaiju's like Big Monster was made more popular by the fact that Pacific Rim, when that came out, the monsters that were in Pacific Rim were Kaiju. So that's how that name became more popularised, I suppose.
Well, I've got it.
There is a connection, obviously, to like Godzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the bit that it said it's presented in a wrestling ring, but the performers are dressed like Godzilla, like monsters. Matt's already mentioned a couple of the mainstay characters. One of them is French Toast, who is a giant waffle with a French accent.
Amazing.
Dr. Cube is apparently the main villain throughout the stories that they tell. He's a disfigured plastic surgeon who wears the white box over his face to hide his scars. But his powers, he uses genetic modification and mind control, it says, to command an army of kaiju to destroy mankind and take over the world. So, are you heading off, Mr. Moore?
I'm going to have to go, yeah.
No worries.
Is there anything else you want to get in before we finish? Or before you have to go?
No. I'm good. I think I'm thingies.
Excellent.
I'll let you gents carry on.
Well, thank you for joining us once
Thank
again.
you very much.
Cheers,
No
Matt.
problem. And
We'll speak to you soon.
Mm.
Right, bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
And then there were 3.
Then there were 3. So just to finish up this bit, because it is absolutely
Batshit crazy.
I can pass you the link unless you've already got one, if you want to put it up with a video. But
I
yeah,
think you're going to have to with this one, aren't you?
Honestly, it is the weird. If it sounds like the weirdest thing, and it like if you haven't to check yourself if you're still listening at this point, and just make sure that you've not accidentally taken something,
Or you've accidentally
hearing,
flicked onto anime podcast or something like that.
yeah, you are hearing us correctly. The other 2 main characters that I could find was one called Dusto Bunny, an anthropomorphic dust bunny, and its height is listed as 1 billion dust mites, which is a bit odd. And the Kung Fu Chicken Noodle, which is a martial artist that wields a cleaver dressed as a tin of chicken noodle soup.
Of course it is.
Just bizarre. One of the weirdest things. It says, the bit that I could find about it says that they sometimes like parody the sort of political atmosphere within America. And Dr. Cube, who's like the main bad guy, has been known to quote Donald Trump apparently in recent times. So it could be interesting. One of the last shows was called Welcome to San Diego, Now Kiss It Goodbye. And that is everything I have on
Seriously, I mean,
Kaiju Big Battle. I know, it's like...
was it a guy who was basically...
High on acid.
Or just mushrooms? Mushroom to fuck?
I said to you guys before, it's definitely going to be the closest I'll ever get to actual LSD. It's just it's going to be nuts. They don't do it outside of the US very often. It was something that they advertised that they put on after Progress. Me and Matt are already there, so when in Rome, I guess. So yeah, it should be a good weekend though. For the fact that it's the full 3 days, we're getting to take in the full tournament, and it's definitely going to be something different because, as we mentioned King of the Ring earlier on, WWE don't really do tournament style stuff other than the Dusty Classic and the Mae Young stuff. They don't do it on the main roster.
Yeah, they have the UK stuff that they seem to be like sort of... Oh my god, what a jammy fucking call that is. It's come off his fucking midriff.
Do you want to fill people in for those that are...
Yeah, I've for those watching, I've been giving score updates as we've been going ahead, but this game is ridiculous. It's currently Man City 4, Spurs 3.
So that's 4 all.
That's 4 all aggregate, so Spurs have the away goal cushion
Nuts.
currently. So Man City, but it's not too bad because Man City only need 1. So if Man City score again, that puts Man City through because they'll win 5-4 in aggregate.
And how long's gone?
72, 73 minutes. But I think they're going to check this goal with VAR.
So we've crossed over from getting over slightly into the football podcast. But yeah, I think wrestling wise though, I think we're pretty much up to date. We've covered the predictions. We've talked about the British wrestling event that we're headed to. Anything else you guys want to?
Andrew Cook has something.
Mr. Cook, take the floor.
So, sorry video. I think I might have to make my t-shirt.
I've seen a video.
Sorry video. Elias. I think he was rapping.
Yeah, well, he was. I think he was. That was his response to John Cena from the night before. Are you going to refer to the fact that he says the next person who comes out to interrupt me is a dead man?
Is a dead man, and then all the lights went off.
Gone.
So I immediately text you, what WTF, and you immediately came back with Undertaker. I was like, yeah. Because my understanding was that he was gone, never to return.
I think everybody's understanding was that he was finished, pretty much.
After the Roman Reigns match, he took his gloves off. He took his trench coat off. He took his hat off. He laid them in the ring. He walked back up the ramp. And he descended through the ramp, I suppose would be the easiest thing to say.
Yeah.
Wasn't heard of, seen of, anything until the following year's WrestleMania, where John Cena had been calling him out for weeks, but he hadn't responded, and then he just appeared at the event and ended up having an impromptu match with him.
Which was only about 3 or 4 minutes long.
It was only about 3 or 4 minutes. It was all Undertaker offense. There was no John Cena stuff in there.
Well, that's because he'd got Larry getting pissed up at ringside during the
Yeah, I've forgotten about that. So, yeah, I don't think anyone really knows what The Undertaker's status is. And since then, he's had 2 matches with
Inside.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Well, they've also done the, he looks really old now, so let's shave the sides of his hair off to make him look younger.
Well,
is that what we're doing?
Something like that.
With regards to him being finished, his contract with WWE was up because he'd started taking bookings outside of WWE for convention appearances, and actually something else that I'm going to in a couple of weeks is a convention in Liverpool called For the Love of Wrestling, and it was a big deal that they've signed The Undertaker for his first convention appearance outside of the US, and he's coming to Liverpool. He's very expensive. He's like £100 for a regular autograph, £200 if you want a belt or something Undertaker related, and £150 for a picture. So, you know, if he can command the fee, he's getting it. I personally won't be meeting him because that is a little bit too much cheddar for my liking. So anyway,
too much cheddar.
So they've signed him. It was a huge deal, and he also took on a UK tour with a company that myself and Paul have been to a few events have done called Inside the Ropes, and he also took on a signing at something called Starcast, which is the convention arm of
All Elite
Wrestling, which is kind of probably, even though they've had one event so far, they're almost going to be WWE's kind of second.
Well, it's the main competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just due to the fact that they've got a legitimate billionaire benefactor, so they have the ability to offer large contracts. They've got, I'm assuming, a way into getting a TV show.
Well,
and things like that. So.
It's rumoured, as history has a thing of repeating itself, that's actually going to be on Ted Turner's network.
Interesting.
Could be strange, but so yeah, so he took these bookings, all gone quiet. All they've been pushing the advertising for these conventions and stuff. All of a sudden, he then turns up on Raw, as you mentioned. Turns out he's now signed a new contract with WWE, and because of this, whilst he can still fulfil the bookings in the sense of they're letting him do the signings and the photos, they don't want him to speak out of character. So this whole tour, which Inside the Ropes have had planned, they've pulled him from the question and answer section, and they've replaced him with Mick Foley, which I feel really bad for that company because they've had to, like, the guy who runs it has put his life savings into getting the Undertaker to come over, and they've had the carpet pulled from under them at the last minute. This literally happens in like 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff because I follow him on Twitter, and he put a lot of stuff out. Like, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that are incredibly upset, annoyed, frustrated. Trust me, any feelings you've got at the minute, I'm having them like double, 3, 4, fourfold.
Yeah, you're just pissed off.
I'm working around it to try and do the best I can for you. Just keep your eyes open and just like watch this space sort of thing. And I think there was a lot of people who basically came out and tweeted the support of him and say that he's listened, done. It's not him that's doing this. Like just remember that he's doing all he can to basically salvage as much as he can of this. So don't be angry at him. Be angry at other sources and stuff like that.
Big shout to Mick Foley though for stepping in.
Yeah,
because that's a great.
That's the man he is, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll always go out of his way to do stuff like that, like to help out who he thinks are the good people in wrestling and stuff like that. So that,
yeah,
he definitely deserves it.
So that is kind of what to answer the question, to go back to that, that is kind of what has happened with The Undertaker, in the sense of his contract ran out, he's now re-signed a contract, but he can't then fulfil the full booking that he's made with these other companies in between time. But they've got another Saudi show coming up. It was due to originally be on the 3rd of May. That's now been changed to sometime in June, was the last I heard. So, will they just roll him out for that?
The fact that they keep going is worrying.
I'm flabbergasted that they didn't. If they had him there, Undertaker is WrestleMania, WrestleMania is Undertaker, why was he not on that card? Or just as an appearance, like he could have done the exact same thing that they did on Raw.
Yeah.
And save Cena for Angle.
Exactly. He could have stuck Cena in the Angle thing. So it's like you were saying earlier. It's like just wasted opportunity with that. But yeah, that's what's going on. I think
It's a shame.
It is.
We got anything else? We all good?
I think that's pretty much wrestling done and dusted.
So WWE done.
Obviously, we've got we'll have a Money in the Bank preview show to do in the coming weeks, as that is the next pay-per-view. But as we discussed earlier, we don't think that's until mid-May.
We've got no matches
So we've
announced yet.
And there's no matches announced yet. Although at this point, we could hazard a guess at who the briefcase winners would be.
From the women? Right now, before anything else develops, I pick Ember Moon.
Yeah, that'd make sense. She's just come back.
And
she had a good promo on SmackDown last night.
From the men, I'd be tempted to pick, depending on what happens with the Intercontinental title, I'd be tempted to pick Balor, but I'm leaning more towards the Miz becoming a 2-time briefcase holder.
Yeah, the only other one that I could think out other than that would be Big E, but
he's knackered, isn't he?
He's injured, and they won't have enough time to build the story.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's
really early doors predictions. Though.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the TV in the coming weeks will dictate, like, the stories and stuff like that, and all will become much more clear. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they pulled something like Corbin, given the fact that he's coming off, or McIntyre.
McIntyre is a good shout. I think Elias is even probably up there as well.
Well, when was the last time he actually wrestled a match?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, and we will see what happens. But yes, thank you very much for joining us once again. And if you're still with us, congratulations. You're one
Can
of
I interest you gentlemen in the question, WWE's Who Am I?
I think we could be tempted.
Just 10 short questions.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Are we writing them down? Or are we just shouting them out?
I can write down.
Write them down.
Cool.
Often in situations where...
Such as
these, the search criteria for the quiz of the day is something short of the hardest WWE quiz you could ever possibly imagine, sort of deal. So this is WWE Who Am I?
Mm-hmm.
The instructions, there are instructions. So this person has written, for each question I have written as if I am speaking out of a certain WWE superstar's mouth.
Interesting.
Using your own knowledge, try and work out which superstar is speaking.
Can you do the accent?
This is the stars next to this. Please read all questions carefully, as there may be some trick waiting for you.
Excellent.
Ooh, okay.
It's multiple choice, but having looked through it, I am aware that there are at least a couple of true or false.
Okay.
Right, okay.
There's just 10. I just thought we'd just
a little cheeky
in
one.
fact, it might actually be 50-50 on true, false, and multiple choice.
Okay. So it's 10.
Play at home. Send us your results. We'll send you a prize if you beat Paul or Stu, or obviously me. Question number 1. Tonight is the first ever Wrestlemania. My match is next, and I'm about to challenge for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Who am I?
Jesus.
Your options: Ricky Steamboat, Tito Santana, Junkyard Dog, Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Question number 2. It's the 1994 King of the Ring pay-per-view. I've just become the new King of the Ring. My name is Bret Hart. True or false? Question number 3. It's the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Year 1996. Diesel just cost me a chance to become the WWE Heavyweight Champion. Who am I? Am I Jake Roberts, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, or Bret Hart? Question number 4. It's the first ever WWE Judgment Day pay-per-view. 1998. I just started my first reign as WWE European Champion.
Oh, God.
I'm X-Pac. True or false?
Ooh.
Question 5. The year is 2000. And it's the WWE's King of the Ring pay-per-view. I'm the new WWE Heavyweight Champion. Who am I?
What year was that, sorry?
2000.
Am I Kane, Triple H, Undertaker, or The Rock?
Oh, son of a bitch.
2000 King of the Ring.
Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, this is just a guess as well. I'm not good at remembering stuff.
Question 6.
Me neither.
It's the WWE's Invasion pay-per-view.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah, boy.
And my match is about to begin. I'm about to show what hardcore stands for when I become the new WWE Hardcore Champion. You know why? Because I'm Jeff Hardy. True or false? Question 7. Tonight is WrestleMania XIX
19.
pay-per-view, and I will soon make my debut in WWE. They aired a video tonight promoting my appearance at the next pay-per-view, Backlash. Who am I? Kevin Nash, Sting, Scott Steiner, or Goldberg? Question 8. It's the July 24th, 2004 edition of WWE SmackDown. Vince McMahon just fired me as the general manager of the show. He can't fire me. I'm Paul Heyman. True or false?
What was the date?
July 24th, 2004. Question 9. It's September 19th, 2005 edition of WWE Raw. Vince McMahon ruined my plans I presume that's to strip John Cena of the World Heavyweight Championship and announced that I would face Cena next week with the title on the line. That's not fair. I'm Eric Bischoff. True or false?
Again, what was the date?
September 19, 2005. Your final question, number 10. It's the ECW brand's first ever December to Dismember pay-per-view.
God.
Rob Van Dam just eliminated me from the Extreme Elimination Chamber match. Who am I? Hardcore Holly, Sabu, Test, or CM Punk?
Fucking hell.
That is hard. Right, I'm definitely doing really badly at this.
Yeah, I don't feel confident at all in
I
these
should have
things.
changed some of mine as well. I'm thinking about.
Right then. Question number 1. Tonight is the first ever Wrestlemania. My match is next, and I'm about to challenge for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Who am I?
Tito Santana?
That's what I went with as well.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh, dear.
I think Tito Santana was in the opening match of WrestleMania. I thought they might
Yeah, maybe there was that.
I think
There's a massive rundown of it. I don't think I'm going to go through all that. Number 2. It's the 94 King of the Ring. I've just become the new King of the Ring. My name is Bret Hart. True or false?
False.
I went false as well in the end.
Your name is Owen Hart.
Owen Hart won the 94 King of the Ring tournament, defeating Razor Ramon.
I remember being very upset about that as a kid.
Were you a big Razor Ramon fan?
It wasn't that, I just didn't like Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was nasty.
But now you know that Owen Hart is awesome.
Oh, obviously.
Question 3. It's the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. 96. Diesel just cost me a chance to become the WWE Heavyweight Champion. Who am I?
The Undertaker.
I went for Shawn Michaels at first, and then I changed it to The Undertaker.
The Undertaker. Yeah. Number 4. It's the first ever WWE Judgment Day pay-per-view. 98. I just started my first reign as WWE European Champion. I'm X-Pac. True or false?
I've gone true.
I've gone true, but I was wondering if it was possibly Shane McMahon.
No, that's too early for Shane McMahon.
False.
Is it?
Indeed, X-Pac did win the WWE European Champion at Judgment Day 98 when he pinned D'Lo Brown.
I was going to say, was it D'Lo Brown?
Oh, God.
Oh!
To become the new champion, however, this was not
God.
X-Pac's first European Championship reign.
Ah, right, okay, hang on. So, it is the 92nd minute, and Man City have just scored to go 5-4 ahead on aggregate. Oh my God, and it's a Sterling hat-trick. Oh my God. This game has had everything.
Question 5. The year is 2000, and it's the WWE's King of the Ring pay-per-view. I'm the new WWE Heavyweight Champion. Who am I?
I went for The Rock.
I went for The Rock as well, but I don't know if it's Triple H, because they kept sort of trading it back and forth that summer.
You should have gone for The Rock.
Yeah. That's the only time I'll ever cheer that guy's name.
Question 6. It's WWE's Invasion pay-per-view, and my match is about to begin. I'm about to show it's worded badly. Hardcore stands for when I become the new WWE Hardcore Champion. You know why?
Oh, he's
because
checking
I'm
the goal.
Jeff Hardy.
Oh my God, it's offside!
I went false.
Yes, I've also gone false, because it was
I think
RVD.
it was RVD, yeah.
It was. 7. Tonight is the WrestleMania 19 pay-per-view, and I will soon make my debut in the WWE.
He's not give it. They've overturned the goal. This is insane. Goldberg.
Goldberg.
It was Goldberg.
Yeah.
It's July 24th, 2004 edition of SmackDown. Vince McMahon just fired me as general manager of the show. He can't fire me. I'm Paul Heyman. True or false?
False.
I went false.
I think it's Kurt Angle.
It was actually Kurt Angle. Number 9. It's September 19, 2005 edition of Raw. Vince McMahon ruined my plans to strip John Cena of the World Heavyweight Championship and announce that I would face Cena next week with the title on the line. That's not fair. I'm Eric Bischoff. True or false?
True.
I went false.
False.
Oh!
All of the information except one part is true. Eric Bischoff did try and strip John Cena of the
But he
championship.
didn't have to face
that
him the
night,
next week.
But it wasn't the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, it was the WWE
It
Championship.
was the WWE
Son of
Heavyweight
a
Championship.
bitch.
And your last one, It's the ECW brand's
I know
first
yours
ever
as
December to Dismember pay-per-view. Rob Van Dam just eliminated me from the Extreme Elimination Chamber match. Who am I?
I've just been told mine is definitely wrong.
So Sabu got removed from the match because he got injured backstage.
I went with
I've put Hardcore Holly, but it could have been any of them, apart from Sabu.
CM.
Yeah.
I nearly went with him. Have we both got the same now?
I have 6.
Oh, I've got 7! Come on!
He's done it!
Yay!
He's done
Get
it!
in!
He's done it!
What did you get then? No, I did.
I got Tito Santana wrong.
Yeah.
I got number 4 wrong.
Yeah.
I got number 9 wrong.
I got number 9 right. And number 10.
And number 10.
Yeah. Yes! So this is what it feels like.
So hang on. So that... Oh, I didn't update that. It's 2 each in the overall standings.
Ooh. Finely poised. I'm going to write that down on this page as well. Finally poised.
Right down on this page, I beat Paul twice.
Well, we've got it on camera. It's all
out there as well. This will be out there by the weekend.
Wow. Spurs in the semi-finals. I'll tell you something. Spurs versus Ajax for a place in the final of the Champions League. Hello.
You boys have got some stuff to cover next week.
Yes, we do.
Right. Well,
There we go.
thank you very much. Thank you for listening, everyone. And
Obviously he's gone, but thanks for Matt
Yeah.
for, as always, taking the time out to ring in and join us. Thanks to Stu for coming over all the way from sunny Hull.
Sunny Humberside.
Thanks to Paul for
Driving down the road
coming
from work.
Yeah.
is he paying rent yet?
Cheeky bastard.
No, it's actually the opposite. He gets a present every time he comes to the house.
Yeah, that's true. The present I got last night
You got
is
your
in the back
present?
of the car.
Well, well, thank you, everyone, and see you again next time.
Tune in next time for some hardcore predictions. And possibly, oh no, I was going to say Superstone style water.
Oh yeah, well, we can talk about that.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
Covered in piss.
So there you go. What did you think to that? Getting over. Wrestlemania's done. On to the next pay-per-view. And loads of British wrestling to boot. YouTube watchers, make sure you're a YouTube subscriber. Drop us a comment, click for notifications, do all the YouTube things. Everybody jump over to the Cookiecast.com. Drop us some social media love, some email love. Just drop us some love. Tell us how you're doing. So yeah, that's another one in the bag. I'm sure we'll be seeing Stu and Paul and Matt back for more wrestling goodness in another episode of Getting Over. But until then, I'm going to say goodbye.